My torch died, but my water's fine, I swear.
All right, well, calm down. I'm gonna tell you a few reasons why your torch died, even though your water is looking okay. My name is Bobby with Kush Corals, and I've done over $1 million in sales last year alone. So you know I've shipped and gotten in my fair share of torch corals. I'm gonna tell you a few things that could kill your torch coral even when the water parameters are fine. So if you've ever lost a torch coral, make sure you stick around. I'm gonna save you some money. The first thing I'm gonna tell you about is flow. Obviously, everybody knows flow is important when it comes to all corals, but did you know that with torches, once you do get that correct flow, one of the worst things you can do is change it drastically, much like your water parameters. Flow is important for a few reasons. I mean, it's got to be able to get the mucus and the food off of it and release waste. That's one reason. One of the other reasons is the skin is so delicate on a torch that little micro tears open up places for bacteria to grow and ultimately turn into that nasty brown jelly that everybody's afraid of. Too much flow and it's gonna drag that skin and probably stretch it, and too little flow, it's gonna just lay on top of that jagged skeleton and get some cut and open itself up for all that bacteria. In the wild, as you can imagine, the flow's not coming from one direction, it's going from all over the place. It's a big ocean out there. So in your tank, some of the fixes are gonna be to move your power heads around and also to move your rock work around. So maybe that bouncing off the wall or the rock work can actually give you the right micro environment. Once you get that dialed in, that's gonna be a good spot in your tank to do a torch garden, because if one torch does good there, you're probably gonna be pretty good for all the rest of your noodles in that spot. All right, so you got the flow right, you got the parameters right. Now what you gotta look out for is chemical warfare, or what we call allelopathy. What you don't want is for other corals to be stinging or fighting with your torches, because the torches are really sensitive. A lot of the times they're gonna lose the battle. Again, it's gonna open up a spot for bacteria to grow. So a good rule of thumb here is given like 3 to 6 inches from your torch corals and your other corals when all of them are fully open. All right, another reason that your torch could be kicking the bucket, even though the water parameters are good to go, flow is golden and there's nothing near it that's gonna fight with it. That's gonna be light shock. A lot of people like to acclimate their corals by putting the bags, floating them in the tank. We don't recommend that for a few reasons. One, it doesn't really do a whole lot except for get the temperature the same. But if you don't turn your lights on, a lot of people don't think about this, you're just beaming those corals that have been in a black box traveling, they're already stressed out. Now you're just putting them underneath a super bright light and it's just gonna shock them. So what we do is we open up our corals, we dip them, we inspect them, and then for our torch corals, we're putting them really, really low light just to get them used to the tank for a few days. All right, then on my last tip, it seems like common sense, but a torch needs to be stable. If it's constantly tipping over, falling, whether it's you when you're cleaning the tank, because I got fat fingers, or your fish is tipping it over, if it's constantly getting tipped over all the time, again, it goes back to what we talked before, it just gives a spot for bacteria to grow in the damaged tissue. Worst case scenario, it's gonna die from that. Best case scenario, it's injured and it heals. But we want super healthy corals, so make sure that it's stable. If you have to, get yourself a stand or somewhere where you're gonna put your prized torch so you never have to worry about it tipping over, falling into the sand. And then the bonus tip I got for you is Indo torches just do way better than Aussie torches. Think of it like Aussie torches are just way, way, way more susceptible to all of those things on top of the water parameters than the Indo torches. So if you can, stay away from the Aussies. I know they're pretty, but you got to stay away from those. The Indo torches are going to do much, much better. And then the last bonus tip, you're getting a lot of bonuses here, is make sure you start with a healthy specimen. A lot of people will try to ask vendors to see if they can see the flesh band, meaning how healthy has that flesh been growing on the torch before they sell it to you. I sell tons of torches every single week on my live streams. We do HD video where you can actually see us spin the torch around, like the one you see in our videos here. So if you want somewhere to get healthy torches to start with, and you want to join a really badass community, and you find tips like this useful, make sure you click the follow button.